The 49ers have worked out 3 kickers to potentially replace Eddy Piñeiro, who's dealing with that grade 1 hamstring strain and may miss at least 1 game for San Francisco. Familiar face amongst the 3 workouts. Anders Carlson, he came in last year when Jake Moody was hurt, made all 5 of his field goals, did miss an extra point for the 49ers, but they're familiar with him in a good way. And, you know, Brant Boyer, who's the 49ers special teams coordinator, maybe we could call Brant miracle worker. He's also familiar with Anders Carlson because after the 49ers stint, Anders went to the New York Jets. That's where Brant Boyer was the special teams coordinator, and Carlson made some kicks for the Jets as well last season. We know he has a strong leg. He kicked a 55-yarder for the 49ers, kicked a 58-yarder for the Jets. He had been inconsistent for the Packers, especially during the playoff game against San Francisco in 2023. That's how he was available for the 49ers last year. But the other 2 tryouts are John Parker Romo. He was with the Atlanta Falcons, missed an extra point that would have tied the game against the Patriots in Week 9. Cut by them. He is 22 of 26 in his career, though, which isn't terrible. So John Parker Romo might be able to give the 49ers a brief spell for Eddy Piñeiro. And finally, Tanner Brown, who doesn't have any NFL kicking experience. He has been on the roster of the Rams and the Atlanta Falcons, though. He was a Lou Groza semifinalist, went to college at UNLV and then Oklahoma State, where he had some very good time for the Cowboys, the college Cowboys, though, not the Dallas Cowboys. So those are the 3 tryouts. And, you know, we can use this to bring some nice attention to special teams, which was absolutely electric for the 49ers, even despite the fact that Eddy Piñeiro missed 2 extra points. One of them was blocked, but they were electric this past Sunday in Arizona. They added about 12 expected points. That's 2 touchdowns worth of points. It was the best performance in the entire Shanahan-Lynch era. Go back to Week 1 and realize the 49ers lost 11 expected points in that game. It's when Jake Moody missed twice and 49ers weren't good on kick coverage. They weren't good returning. That was an ugly start, and it seemed like a continuation of 2024 when they were the number 32, dead last ranked special teams unit in all of football. Well, ever since then, they cut Moody, who signed with the Commanders, by the way. He's on their active roster now from the Chicago Bears practice squad. But ever since that Week 1 disaster, when the 49ers added Piñeiro, they've been the best special teams unit in all of football. It's the 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks at the top of the league. So that's the job that Brant Boyer has done. Piñeiro obviously was the initial fuel for that, but the kick return unit has blossomed since then for the 49ers. Thomas Morstead has been doing a good job punting throughout. Brian Robinson Jr. and Sky Moore have been awesome on the kick returns, and Sky Moore, I think, has improved punt returning. He's no longer catching those punt returns inside his own 5-yard line at this point. I mean, it's all combined, and you got to give the blockers for the 49ers credit, too. I mean, Brian Robinson Jr. was blocking for Sky Moore's 98-yarder the other day. But it's all combined to give the 49ers an advantage that has quite literally saved their season. This team with the defense, obviously not a dominant unit this year, the defense just getting by, and the offense just now getting healthy, they couldn't afford number 32 special teams again. So they've gone worst to first under Brant Boyer, who meticulously charts everything. Spray charts of where these kicks are going to go, sets up the blocks for the 49ers. He is on all the P's and Q's. And one of the critical P's and Q's is the entire kicking operation. The 49ers replaced all of that after the 2024 disaster. Long snapper was Tabor Pepper. Mitch Wishnowsky was the punter and the holder. Obviously, Wishnowsky got hurt, so the 49ers had to go to Pat O'Donnell, a backup there. And then Moody was the kicker. They gave Moody only 1 game. They didn't stick with Jake Moody all too long. He worked with a new battery this year. John Weeks, the long snapper, Thomas Morstead, the punter and the holder. Didn't work out in Week 1, so the 49ers went to Piñeiro, and Piñeiro has yet to miss a field goal, despite missing the 4 extra points so far this year. So Eddy, over 20 made field goals now for the 49ers this season, is not going to be an easy player to replace. But I think that Carlson probably the favorite, and one of these kickers is going to be tasked, I think, just for the short term to not screw things up. Even if you miss a kick or 2, don't let things just completely go to hell. And the 49ers are playing well enough right now in the other facets of special teams that it's reasonable to believe that they won't crater there unless there is a complete kicking disaster. And last year, Anders went 5 for 5 with them. He kicked that 55-yarder against the Chiefs. Another big component of all this is kickoff ability. I mean, if you don't put the kickoff in the landing zone, the touchback is the 35-yard line now. So there's a lot of pressure to get these kickoffs right to allow the 49ers coverage unit to do their thing. One more hidden challenge that the 49ers special teams unit is going to face is the replacement of Curtis Robinson. I'm guessing he's not going to be as prominent on special teams since Tatum Bethune is down and Robinson has taken over the Mike linebacker position for the 49ers. He's so important for the 49ers with that radio in his helmet that I think he might be a defense-only focus for this football team. So that can have downstream effects. The 49ers, one of the reasons their special teams unit really struggled in 2024 is that they had so many injuries that guys were out of position. And with punt coverage and kick coverage and blocking for returns so meticulously charted these days, if you've got guys out of position, you're going to give up an edge. And this has been the year of the special teams advantage in the league. I think we're seeing teams either glean big-time edges or suffer major efficiency disadvantages based on whether or not they have a leg up in special teams. So the 49ers, if they do have to replace Robinson because of his middle linebacker duties, are going to have to be very careful. They're going to have to tread forward with great attention to detail, and I think that's where having Brant Boyer on this staff, his assistant Colt Anderson, a former head special teams coordinator himself, I think that is very beneficial for San Francisco. But the most visible special teams position is that kicker spot. And I'm sure the 49ers will sign somebody by tonight, maybe even tomorrow. We'll have the update for you when it indeed happens. John Parker Romo, one of the possibilities for San Francisco. Anders Carlson, another one of the possibilities for the 49ers. And then, of course, the third possibility for San Francisco, Tanner Brown. The 3 workouts for the 49ers at that kicking position today. If they could keep special teams efficiency at this number 1 level, or at least in the top 5 level, that's the formula for the 49ers, right? Elite offense, really good special teams, find a way for the defense to make it passable, to make things work. That's how the 49ers are approaching all of this. They may also sign a linebacker to the practice squad this week. So stay tuned for that as the 49ers get ready for the Carolina Panthers. Monday Night Football, big game against the 6-5 opponent. 49ers trying to move to 8-4.